So now I would like you to walk us through the evolution of the Potsticker.
Okay,
We're going
now-
to talk about our national champion.
Let me just tell you about that sandwich. Now, I think to get the full effect, you have to understand that Joe McCarthy is our culinary mad scientist. Okay, that's who he is to us here at Meltz. And so he had gone on a trip. He chefs at the racing series, the Indy race series. Anyway, he had gone on a race, and he came back. And during that race, he had a stopover in Seattle. And unfortunately, I don't remember the restaurant that he was at, but they were offering Potsticker pie. And in the world of food, you don't know where your inspiration is going to come from. And it comes in the craziest of locations. You just don't know. And so Joe saw that Potsticker pie, and apparently it impressed him enough, and he thought to himself, well, if they can make a Potsticker pie, why can't I make a Potsticker grilled cheese? And he was a force to be reckoned with when he walked in the door after that, because he'd had multiple plane rides to think about all the flavor profiles that needed to be in there to qualify for a Potsticker, and how he was going to be able to equate that to mass producing. To make one sandwich is one thing, but to make 50 sandwiches every day, day after day, the same. And so he's had a couple of plane rides, and his brain is just full of how this is going to happen. And I mean, he burst through the back door, Potsticker Meltz, Lou, I've got to make a Potsticker Meltz. And I just stepped back and I said, you do? And it was as if nothing, was in his mind at all, but creating the sandwich. And so we ran down, the ratio of pork and to fat and all these things that you have to take into account when you're trying to create a specific menu item. And so it was within 2 days, he had his first round of ingredients in. And he literally was like the mad scientist back there, mixing this and blending that and stepping back and looking at it. Was it visually the way he wanted it to be? Are all the vegetables the right size? Does it look too wet? And then that first batch went in the oven, and it came out, and we all were just in awe of it. I mean, just the Potsticker loaf itself is something to see, and all on its own. And then it gets portioned, and then for each order, we warm it up on the flat top. And every time that meatloaf or that Potsticker loaf hits the heat of the flat top, you get that burst of Asian aromas coming out of there. And as a cook making it, it makes your mouth water. I mean, just that the senses that are, awakened in that is just amazing. And so, of course, every aspect of a sandwich matters to Joe. Every single aspect matters. So he's already thought about, how am I going to give my customers that full Potsticker experience? So he's running down all the elements. Well, we have to have sriracha. How am I going to get sriracha in there? So therefore now we have sriracha aioli that goes on the sandwich. Green onions are very common, and so we've got fresh chopped green onions that give that nice fresh crunch to it. And then of course the fried wontons, because you can't have a Potsticker without a Potsticker wrap. So he decides that we're going to fry the wontons, and we're going to crumble them up, and we're going to put them right on the sandwich. And then no Potsticker would be complete without the sauce.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit about the sauce?
I can, and it's been interesting to, even as recently as 2 weeks ago, the Potsticker sauce has made slight progress. It was good from the very beginning, but even a couple of weeks ago, we just changed it. He took a basic soy sauce base, and he adds a few spice ingredients that I'll just leave out there to your imagination, but nothing you wouldn't expect to have in an Asian meal. And some sesame oil, and some simple syrup, and it's the right combination, and it's the combination and the viscosity of the simple syrup that we were working on just recently, so that when you actually dip your sandwich into it, it's not so thin and it doesn't just run off your sandwich. You want a little bit of that sauce to actually adhere to it, so you get that full experience.
Were you able to serve the dipping sauce at the national competition?
I was, and I'm just going to tell you that the people love that whole concept. And in the beginning, I had plates to send the food out on.
Right.
And then I had served all my 20 samples, which was the requirement for the contest, that you get 20 samples out there. That's what everyone was judged on. But I had all this food left over, and I had people screaming for grilled cheese and Potsticker Meltz. And so I just kept making it. So I had brought the containers that we use here in the store with the lids, and we just turned the lid just so it covered the sauce, and then I just started putting a piece of the grilled Potsticker Meltz right on top, and we just started handing them out that way. And I mean, hands were flying. They were just so fast. They were just flying crazy.
Fantastic. What was your favorite part of the National Grilled Cheese Invitational?
The pure enthusiasm for why everyone was there.
And why were they there?
Grilled cheese. Good, solid grilled cheese. And there's a sense of camaraderie. You know, it's not like a typical competition where every man for himself. That was not the tone of it at all. It was my first year there, and so I, of course, am observing who's there, who's set up, how this whole thing is going on. And I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of people that had competed 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And so you know, I asked them some tips on, you know, what they felt made a difference, and so and they were happy to share. They didn't want to hold anything, and they wanted me to make grilled cheese too, because that's what we're there for. We're there to make great. And so that was my favorite part. Was just the pure enthusiasm to make and eat grilled cheese. That's what that day is all about.
So from what you learned, what would you do different?
Very little.
Okay.
Very little.
Obviously you won, so.
And now I have an idea as to how much I can cook in that hour. And so that will help me approach it. But I do know that they have good palates, so that's always going to be something that needs to be taken into account. And then everyone has the same amount of space and the same equipment. So now, having gone through that, those are the kind of things I'll fine tune. But I know that any Meltz sandwich that we bring, I would hope, would be a contender.
Yes. What are your hopes for the future of Meltz? Where do you see this going?
You know, what I would love to see for Meltz is I would like to see it available in its original, genuine form, available throughout the United States. I would like the vision that's been created by Joe McCarthy, the passion and the years and years of culinary experience that go into every sandwich that we make. I would like to see that multiplied and multiplied and multiplied, so that it's all over the United States, and you could look forward to it. You knew that if you were...
So franchising is in your future? Franchising,
I would hope to be at the top of what we do here, and only if we can do it properly.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
Lou Davey, cut. Good job.